this is Stephanie with the Department of Natural Resources, and I'm going to show you how to complete your finfish reports. This is the daily commercial fisheries catch log that you would receive from your service center, along with the 12 monthly labels for your finfish reports. Inside your catch log, you would find the information you need to complete the reports and the reports themselves. Okay, here's an example finfish report. We have a space here for you to put your information when it comes to your name, your address, your license number, the month and year that you're reporting. The best way to do that is with the label. If you don't have the label, you can write this information in, but using the label means that we get this additional barcode. The barcode is just like the one you have at the grocery store, and it codes your name, your address, your license number, but it's also unique to the month and year. So that if you put your April 2013 report on your May report, the computer will think that you're reporting for May and not give you credit for April. So it's very important to put the correct month on your monthly harvest. The next thing you would do is up at the top here is your Maryland registration number or your Federal Coast Guard documentation number. And you would just write that number in up here at the top. If you have additional people working on the boat with different license numbers, you can write their license numbers in, or better, they each should have their own labels. And what you can do is check this box here, and then on the back of the report, you would place their labels. When you report your harvest, the form's divided into two parts. The first part describes your effort into going into the harvest. The second part is the catch itself. We're going to start by reporting the effort that you put in. The first part is going to be the day of the month that you were fishing, but also the NOAA code. We're going to start out with 031, and that's Chester River. I used a pound net, which is 275, and these numbers are the inside of your logbook. The quantity of gear was 2. Now I'm going to put in the duration for 8. This is the length of time the gear was actually in the water. As far as sets, I'm going to put 2. This is the number of times the gear was actually hauled. When it comes to trip length, this is going to be 8 hours for me, and that's the time it went from when I left the dock to when I returned to the dock. I had one person working with me that was my crew. Now I'm going to report the actual catch for this month. I'm going to start out with striped bass. Everything here would be reported in pounds. So I caught 1095, so 1,095 pounds of striped bass, 50 of the perch, and for the menhaden, I'm going to change here. I'm going to report that I caught 20 bushels. As long as I put the unit next to it, we can enter this harvest accurately and not think that this was 20 pounds, but instead 20 bushels of harvest. I go back to my channel catfish, 200 pounds, and 5 pounds of croaker. Over to the right, here are 3 empty columns. This is where you can write in additional species that are listed on the inside of the catch log book. So let's say that I caught spot. The code for spot is 21, and I caught 8 pounds of spot. If I continue across the form, I come to the county landed code. I'm going to say this was St. Mary's. Again, these codes are available in the book. And here's the catch disposition code. This is what happens to the catch after you come back into the dock. Next, I'm going to show you a little bit more about filling in the harvest, so I'll come back and show you what I did. Now I've completed a bit more of the report to give you an idea of what a completed harvest reform might look like. In this case, I've added harvest for striped bass, the menhaden, and the channel catfish, keeping my units in bushels for the menhaden. I've also changed the duration that I was harvesting, and I've added a line here that tells that I've already switched to the bay, and I'm now doing hook and line, and I've added the information for that day's harvest. I've also drawn lines through, because you don't need to fill out every box if you're going to be staying with that type of information. I want to notice down here at the bottom, because April only has 30 days, I want to be sure I don't accidentally report an extra day of harvest that really belongs to the next month. Something else is that over here, when it comes to the county landed codes, we have Queen Anne's County, which is actually much closer to the Chester River and the bay. And then we have a place where we wrote the disposition, which is the seafood company. I just made that up, but you can write in where you landed your catch. At the very bottom of the form, you want to remember to sign that you're certifying this is an accurate report of your harvesting for the month. and to put the date on. If you happen to need more catch logs, there's a box up here at the top of the form. I need more catch logs. You can check that and we'll send more out to you. And on your label, if you have a place where you know that you've changed your address, you can actually write that information on the label and we'll update that in the computer as well. Now that we have the completed report, I wanted to point out right up here at the top of the form, check here if done fishing for the year. When you check this box, we will automatically create reports for the remainder of the year for that license number. So if you finish fishing in August and check this box, the computer will create reports for September, October, November, and December, and you do not need to send in any more reports. On the other hand, if you check this box early in the year and decide later on you do want to go fishing, all you need to do is send in reports for the months that you harvest, and we'll go ahead and update that in the system for you. You are required to submit a report for every month of the finfish fishing season. Here's an example of a report where someone did not harvest fish but needs to send the report in anyway. The first thing to remember is be sure to attach your label, your finfish label, for the correct month and year, and be sure if there are other watermen fishing with you that their information is recorded also. So you can check this box here and put their labels on the back. Right here you can put your vessel identification number or your Coast Guard number. And then here at the top, if you have other fishermen but you don't have labels for them, be sure to write their license numbers down. If you don't put their license numbers on the report, they will not be given credit for reporting for that month. Here at the top, you did not fish this month, so you check this box. But there's also a way to make sure that if you don't fish for a couple of months during the season, you don't have to send in reports for those months. So this report is for April 2013, and for whatever reason, this waterman is not going to fish again until August. By writing August 13th, our computer will automatically correct and put in reports for May, June, and July, but we'll expect a report from you in August. Be sure again to sign at the bottom that this is an accurate representation of the harvesting you did for the month. In this case, you did not fish, and date the report. And that's all there is to it.